Citizens in the UK are set to go to the polls on July 4th. Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has set the date for a national election that will determine who governs the UK. Mr. Sunak is the third Conservative Prime Minister since the last election in 2019. Earlier, we were joined by a UK spokesperson for Young Voices who explained the reaction to the election call.
Honestly, relief. People have been waiting for an election to be called for at least a year, maybe if not more. And so for a lot of people across the country like myself, it was very much finally we can get on with it. We can get on with changing governments and we can actually start moving forward with things. So the current government is the Conservative government led by Rishi Sunak. And in all the polls, they are massively behind their main opposition, the Labour government. They're 20, 23, 25 points behind. That ranges from them, the opposition winning a 300-seat majority to like a 100 to 200-seat majority, and our parliament has 650 seats in total. So the range goes from the current government being moderately just replaced and being a weak-ish opposition all the way to electoral wipeout, to be honest. What you really got to understand is the direction the country is going, which is downwards, and the national sentiment reflects that. His polling numbers have kept dropping. So for Sunak, what it really was is choosing the least bad time to call an election. And what happened is the day yesterday when he called the election, the inflation numbers came out and they were okay. Inflation has reduced to only 2.3%. So prices are still rising, but they're not rising nearly as fast as they were when inflation peaked a couple of years ago. It was all the way up at 11% before. And so for Sunak, this is maybe the one moment in the next 1 year when he will have to call an election that looked to be the best moment to call it. So one of the biggest issues is housing, which I know a lot of Canadians also feel strongly about. The housing crisis has spiraled out of control in the UK, and it's just unaffordable for many people like myself, young people, to buy their first property, but even for people older. Other issues include the NHS, healthcare. Despite receiving funding under the government, it's been mismanaged and just isn't delivering the services that people demand of it. The economy as a whole is a major thread. People feel like their real wages aren't growing and taxes are relatively rising and they're not getting enough out of that. And we haven't seen productivity rise for the last 10 years. And then the government is also seeing threats from the right on immigration. It's chosen to make immigration this really salient and big issue, and they keep talking about stopping the votes. What this has happened is this has backfired against them and caused a far-right party or a more anti-authoritarian party to pop up and steal these votes away from voters who are now concerned about immigrants.
Forum Daily will be back shortly.